KSAT 12. The news at noon starts right now.
Today at noon, the effort to stop the spread of devices that allow people to increase a gun's firing power. So much so that it can outpace military-grade machine guns. And it can be all done at home. We're going to have details on a new initiative with the goal of stopping people from making these weapons and using them.
All right, and Ursula, something that I unfortunately have to talk about every morning on Good Morning San Antonio, construction. Yeah, we're going to have more road closures as we have a long road ahead for drivers. Construction on I-35 in San Antonio continues. We're going to tell you what closures you can expect to see this week, plus why some people say that driving on I-35 isn't just eating into their time, but their wallets as well.
Ugh,
yeah,
we're tired of it.
It's a headache.
We're not tired of this.
No,
a lot of rain today, and it did make for a messy commute, but we're not complaining at all.
Not at all. In years past, a Monday morning, we woke up to rain. We probably would have complained, but not this morning. It felt so good. And as we look out there with live cam, we're actually looking at some of the TransGuide shots. The roads have dried up. We're getting some blue skies as you look towards downtown. You saw there on the quick frame, Leon Creek tends to flood a little bit. Looks like it's improving some there too. So floodwater is really starting to subside. How much rain did we see? Well, there were some big numbers out across western parts of Bexar County and San Antonio. If you're out near Alamo Ranch, we got quite a few pictures in. Close to 4 inches of rain when it's all said and done. Counting last night's rain and this morning's rain, you put that together. And yes, there were some great numbers. Helotes 2.78, but there were some spots with higher numbers than that. The airport about 1 inch of rain. As you went east, the numbers dropped off a little bit, but at least there still was rain across the entire city of San Antonio. New Braunfels 1.23. These are 24-hour totals, by the way. We had a couple of rounds, one last night and one this morning. All good. We should see the aquifer respond a little bit. And maybe some of the rivers as well. You see Bandera nearly 1 inch, Kerrville 1.42. So this was pretty widespread, exactly what we needed. The other thing it's doing for us is keeping temperatures in check. 79 right now in San Antonio. That's it at noontime. That's a huge improvement. I still think we make it into the 90s today. The sun's starting to pop out, but it will not be as hot. And here's a look at the cloud cover. Yes, the rain has moved out, but we still have some clouds lingering here. They'll move out pretty quickly and we'll start to see the sun. The question is, will we get more rain? I think there's some opportunity for that. We're going to talk about when and where coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Justin. Yes, definitely some much needed rain there. New this noon, the U.S. Attorney's Office says it's seen more and more machine gun conversion devices across Texas. These are also known as switches, and it's illegal to have one. If you're caught with a switch, you could face up to 10 years in federal prison. Right now, the U.S. Attorney's Office says that specifically switches have become more and more popular among teenagers. They can be made out of metal or plastic or even 3D printers. The switch itself is considered a machine gun because they allow a gun to fire multiple rounds with one trigger pull. The ATF says that in many cases, their firing power outpaces military-grade machine guns. That's why the U.S. Attorney's Office and the ATF are pushing to stop the creation of these devices through its Operation Kill Switch.
Operation Kill Switch has 2 main goals. 1, we encourage state and local law enforcement to be on the lookout for machine gun conversion devices. And 2, we urge the public to report switches to law enforcement. As a member of the community, you can anonymously submit online tips to atf.org.
And the U.S. Attorney's Office is also partnering with Crime Stoppers. From now until the end of August, Crime Stoppers will offer rewards of up to $5,000 for information about people who might have switches or any devices used to make switches.
It's an old story, and it's creating new headaches for drivers. So hard to find someone who's not sick and tired of the construction on I-35. And this week, every single night, there's going to be a full closure on I-35, as well as on some entrance and exit ramps. But every night, it's going to be a little bit different. Here's what you can expect. You're going to have to pay attention to all of this Monday through Friday. Get ready for it. We're going to have northbound I-35 from Judson Road to Pat Booker Road, southbound I-35 from Pat Booker Road to Judson. Tuesday, June 11th, that's tomorrow, southbound I-35 from Pat Booker Road to O'Connor. Wednesday, southbound I-35 from Judson to Weidner. It's a lot. It's a lot. And our traffic man over here, RJ Mark, has is going to help you understand it because it's
Right.
complicated too. It's different every night.
Yeah, absolutely, Ursula. Again, it's going to be some headaches out there for our drivers on 35. If you live or work around the area, chances are you're maybe a little bit used to this. But again, this is the ongoing construction that's taking place. So let's show you here. Went ahead and built this map for all of our viewers here. Basically, Pat Booker Road all the way to Wiedner Road. That will be the chunk of this construction that's going to be taking place. As Ursula just mentioned, this is going to be the exit entrance ramps in this area. Also, the north and southbound main lanes, again, from this stretch of I-35 in both directions. And this is all part of the I-35 Northeast Expansion project. So this week, we're going to have some crews that are going to be paving part of the highway. But it's not just these closures that are frustrating drivers. A local business owner.
This is the typical damage that you end up getting. It slides on the side.
Problems are piling up.
This would be considered a total loss.
Really? This is a total loss.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, one driver says that they were driving on the interstate when a piece of asphalt actually kicked up and hit her car. And she says that came with a big bill, which she actually took later on to TxDOT. So definitely a lot of problems going on there in that part of the city.
I got a claim number and a response email saying that somebody would be in contact with me shortly. I never got a call.
In the meantime, this lady says that she's trying to get a new job and she's going to avoid getting a job that's going to require her to be on I-35. A spokesperson for TxDOT tells us that these types of claims will be forwarded to the contractor because this is a construction zone and they're in charge. If you need to file a claim, we do have a link on how to do so on KSAT.com.
Yeah, heard a lot of horror stories about asphalt and potholes on I-35. Hey, this is good right here. Not a nightmare. Coming up in sports, the Brahmas are bringing home a championship to the Alamo City. We have highlights of San Antonio's big win over the weekend at St. Louis, the Battlehawks there, and what's ahead for your San Antonio Brahmas. Welcome back to the news at noon. 500 would-be interns are getting the hookup to dozens of small business and startups throughout the city.
Tiffany Huertas with how their first dip into the business of solar energy happened and how it's helping their future look brighter.
I'm doing a whole lot of CAD work, which is really testing some of my skills from Trinity, and I'm learning a lot of new ones here.
Trinity University student Legend Grigsby is diving into the solar industry in this internship.
The program allows you to have a cohort of other individuals who are like-minded, and they're a really good support system to be able to fall back on.
The engineering science student is interning at Big Sun Solar. The company builds solar projects for commercial businesses, nonprofits, and utilities throughout Texas.
We've got 3 really bright interns here this summer. All of them are making real contributions.
The interns are part of Students Plus Startups internship program.
We want the intern to have a real work experience so they can go back to school, they can go back to their long-term interview process with real credit, real work to talk about. And so that helps them build their resume and their skill set.
This program was founded in 2016 in partnership between San Antonio Area Foundation, 80/20 Foundation, Geekdom, and local universities.
It is an internship program where we pair young talent in San Antonio with small businesses, startups, and nonprofits who are looking to cultivate their talent base and really grow their pipelines in San Antonio.
39 companies and 73 interns are participating this year.
We also provide 50% stipend support. So interns receive $6,000. They work a 10-week summer internship. We subsidize 50% of that. And sometimes we'll fully subsidize if there's a financial need for the company partner.
Some internship opportunities also include housing.
College is expensive. It'll definitely help me out a lot with that. But again, I'm here for the experience, and the pay is just an extra bonus on top.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Happening today, a Buc-ee lover's dream opening its doors. It may be an hour's drive away, but for some folks, it's worth the trip. For one thing, it's the largest Buc-ee's ever in the U.S. with 150 gas pumps, and that sits at the door of a 75,000 square foot store. Doors opened just a few minutes ago. Rather, it opened at 6 a.m., but just a few minutes ago there was a formal ribbon cutting. It's not too hard to find because it was built right next to the old Buc-ee's in Luling, which opened back in 2003.
Yeah, right there off of I-10 and 500 square feet larger than the other one in Tennessee, Ursula.
And it was already huge.
It was. It's like a tiny town in there.
So what is the thing that everybody talks about? Is it some kind of
Beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets.
Yep.
That's
Justin, are you a beaver nuggets kind of guy?
I mean, they're okay. I usually go for the sour gummy worms, though.
Ooh, okay.
Everyone has their favorite.
Beef jerky is pretty solid, I will say.
Just about everything is pretty good. But anyway, I digress. The aquifer, amazingly, is down today 0.2 of a foot. I think by tomorrow, you're going to start to see it come up a little bit because this rain's starting to soak into our aquifer. And there were some good totals out there, as we mentioned. Pollen count, molds are low at 250, and this is sort of the same idea. I think by tomorrow, you'll see molds come up a little bit because of the rainfall. Could we see more rain? That's the big question. We'll take a look coming up.
Welcome back. It's Monday, a full week of SA Live up ahead.
Yep. Oh, I know. Y'all are so excited, okay? But we are here to spill the tea because it's National Iced Tea Day.
Yes, indeed. And
Spilling the tea.
Very simple question. How do you like your tea? Sweet or unsweet?
Yes, good question, Mike. Half and half, right down the middle.
Really?
Yes, yeah. Half sweet, half unsweet. I think it's the perfect mix for me, for my sweet. I think sometimes some sweet tea is a little too much, yeah.
In our
So
house,
half and half.
it's a sweet tea house, for sure.
Sweet tea.
But you know, you have to understand, if you've lived anywhere else in the country, tea's not a thing like it is here.
What is it when you add lemonade to a tea? Is that what's called an Arnold Palmer?
Yes.
Arnold Palmer, okay.
You took the words out of my mouth, RJ. I love, excuse me, I love a good Arnold Palmer. What about you? Sweet or unsweet?
Unsweet.
Oh.
Unsweet?
Yes.
Yeah, usually unsweet.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so we've got, let's see, 2 votes for unsweet, one right down the middle. You're quite the diplomat there, RJ. And one sweet, so.
So scan that QR code and weigh in, and you'll see how that shakes down.
You know what tea would go good with?
What?
Some really good Italian food. Anything goes good with Italian food. There's a restaurant, new restaurant in the medical center. Look at some of these dishes right here. Kind of a Texas twist to the old Parmesan right there.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Parm. Wait till you taste
looks
this.
good.
Yeah.
That did look good.
That did look good.
Tea also a good way to cool down. I know we had some hot temperatures this weekend.
Well, maybe that's why it's so popular here in Texas.
Yeah. I'm an unsweet guy myself.
We knew that.
Of course. I don't like any sugar in my tea, but I think it's
what
funny.
What a surprise.
I think it's funny that the sweet tea is like the default. Like, unless you specify unsweet, they're going to give you sweet tea.
That's right.
I can't do it. Hey, unsweet all the way.
Texas thing.
Anyway, we had some good rain this morning. I want to show you a couple of the side effects that we got from the heavy rain. This one, picture coming on our KSAT Connect from 410 to 151, and you can see there's a car stuck in the water there. We don't like to see that. That's where that water collects. It's one of those spots, and sometimes you can get stuck in there. Thankfully, the water has receded in this area, but that was a little bit earlier this morning. This is from San Antonio, and you can see some tree damage there, some branches down. Looks like we did get some gusty winds with this, along with some of that heavy rain, so certainly could cause some of this damage. We've seen a couple of other pictures with trees down like this. And then take a look at this, 4.4 inches of rain out at Alamo Ranch. I told you that was one of the big winners this morning, the area with the most rain. Most places out there looking at about 4 inches of rain, if not a little bit more. So great to see. Again, the rain was pretty widespread. Even at the airport, we picked up 1.13 inches, which is the highest total, the first time we've seen more than an inch of rain since April 28th. It's been a while, so this is a good soaking rain. And now the sun's starting to come out. 84 at the airport, 84 in New Braunfels, 81 Seguin, 77 in Bernie, 79 Kerrville. These numbers are honestly pretty great. Compared to what we typically see this time of day, what we've seen so far this month. Northwesterly winds at 15 miles per hour makes it feel that much better. And as we look at the authority radar right now, there's not a lot to see here. Showers and storms have either fallen apart or quickly moved off to the east. There are some storms along the coast from basically south of Houston down to about Port O'Connor or so. Other than that, there's not a lot to see. Now, we are going to watch what develops up here. This is what happened last night. We got some storms to develop up around San Angelo and Ozona. They came together, clustered together, and then they worked towards us. That is a possible scenario again tonight, not a guarantee. But it is with this kind of pattern that we're in, it can happen. High pressure is scooted just far enough west into Mexico where it's allowed the flow to be out of the north and west. And so again, anything that develops up here, fair game to work down into our area. And the computer models, some want to have that scenario play out. So around 5 o'clock does show a couple of isolated showers or storms. I'd say anything we see this afternoon is few and far between. The atmosphere is pretty worked over. But as we get into tonight, there is that activity starting to brew, and then it works south and southeast. This particular model doesn't want to bring it through San Antonio, but geographically speaking, it could be anywhere. So we're not going to pay too close attention to that, other than the general idea that that's the kind of flow that we're in. And as we get into tomorrow, shows more thunderstorms developing by tomorrow afternoon and another complex of showers and storms developing by tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. So we have some more opportunities for rain here. After that, that's when high pressure begins to move back in, and we'll get the heat returning. 93 so far, or that's what we're expecting later this afternoon, and then the 95 Tuesday, 93 on Wednesday, 96 Thursday, and then there's the heat coming back into play for Father's Day, close to 100. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for the next few days to get some more rain in the rain gauge, guys.
This has been very nice. Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
I like how Justin snuck in Father's Day. I definitely got to sneak that in.
When it's Mother's Day, he's not talking about it so much.
Get ready for Father's Day. Hey, guys, coming up in sports, vamos, Brahmas, vamos, go, Brahmas, go. We have highlights from an action-packed showdown versus St. Louis for the conference championship. And a former Spurs player makes the play of the game in Boston's win over Dallas. But, of course, there's controversy. We have a recap of the finals coming up next. Welcome back. Well, we're going to start things off with the Brahmas here. Back-to-back weeks, they were playing at the St. Louis Battlehawks. Season on the line. Winner going to the league championship game. San Antonio with a nice early drive until QB Chase Garbers throws a pick in the end zone. You see right there by Cameron Kelly. But St. Louis would not be celebrating long because shortly after that interception, look at this play here. The Battlehawks attempt a flea flicker, but it is an absolute disaster. Ball is loose and recovered by the San Antonio Brahmas. The Brahmas take advantage of that. 2 plays later, Chase over the middle to Marquez Stevenson. No relation there. Brahmas go up 7-0 after 1. San Antonio was up 13-3 at the third quarter here. Anthony McFarland up the middle, extends the Brahmas lead, takes it 69 yards to the house. San Antonio is up 19-3, but then St. Louis battling back. They scored a quick touchdown, and after that, the Brahmas fumble the ball. St. Louis scoops it up, takes it back for another score. After 3, San Antonio was up 22-15, and the Brahmas were able to keep the Battlehawks at bay in the 4th. You saw right there, Wade Phillips gets the Gatorade bath. Brahmas win 25-15, defeating St. Louis for the first time this season. Up next, the Brahmas will be in the UFL championship game versus the Birmingham Stallions. That will kick off Sunday, 4 o'clock. San Antonio won their only matchup with the Stallions several weeks ago, winning 18-9 here at the Alamodome. How about SAFC? San Antonio started the month off with a win. Unfortunately, they've now lost 2 straight. SAFC lost at home on Wednesday 1-0 to El Paso Locomotive. Then Saturday night on the road at Tulsa, San Antonio went down 2-0 before scoring in the 90th minute thanks to Jorge Hernandez. San Antonio lost 2-1, dropping to 4-5 on the season, forcing them into 6th place in the Western Conference. SAFC, though, is missing a few players here due to injuries and international call-ups. So academy players are getting some time on the field, including 15-year-old Landry Walker, who played 28 minutes in his pro debut.
I just think it was a great experience for me to finally be able to step on the field and get my first minutes, and I'm just thankful for the minutes I was able to play. I'm thankful to Coach Marcin and all the coaches here, and just all the teammates that have given me so much support while I was on and off the field.
Great learning opportunity for each of them. Landry just turned 15, he was 14 3 weeks ago. To get his pro debut is incredibly special for him and for the club, and our belief in youth, and they gave their best efforts tonight.
Again, only 15 years old. That is really impressive. SAFC, they're at Indy 11, kickoff there Saturday, 6 o'clock. And staying with soccer, what a scene at Kyle Field the other day. Mexico and Brazil faced each other in a friendly Saturday. Over 85,000 fans saw a great match. Brazil went up 2-0 until Mexico made a comeback in the second half. El Tri would tie the match at 2-2 in the 92nd minute, making fans go crazy. But 4 minutes later, Endrick won the match for Brazil with an amazing header there. What a great atmosphere there as the game and the squads prepare for the 2024 Copa America, which will be played in the United States later this month. Okay, to the NBA Finals now. The Dallas Mavericks are coming off a tough loss to Boston in Game 1 of the Finals, hoping to steal one on the road. Let's go to the back and forth second quarter. Luka Doncic, you saw right there, fadeaway jumper. He scored 32 points, putting the Mavs up by 6. But in the third quarter, look at that, Celtics pulling away. Doncic, wild pass, leads to a bucket there for Jrue Holiday. He led the Celtics 26 points, 11 rebounds in. At the end of the third, Peyton Pritchard, you saw that one, heaves up a buzzer beater to put the Celtics up by 9. The Mavs were down 5 with less than a minute to play. PJ Washington goes to the rim, but he's blocked by former Spurs player Derek White. Derek White actually hit PJ's hand on that play, but it was a no call by the refs. Dallas not happy about that. Celtics, you see right there, Jaylen Brown with the score. They would go on to win this 105-98, putting the Mavs in a 2-game hole, heading back to Dallas for Game 3. And of course, you can watch the NBA Finals right here on KSAT 12. Tough loss for the Mavs.
Yeah, but it's weird how nobody's really too upset about it. Look at him, he's smiling.
Spurs fan here?
Okay.
I'm not upset about Dallas's misery. That's all I'm saying.
Only in San Antonio.
Yeah, definitely.
New today at 5, you've got the big names, Visa, MasterCard, American Express. But there are so many other credit offers that might benefit you more. Consumer Reports takes a look at and also reveals the best ones that you need to have in your wallet. It's today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. There's not too many Monday mornings that we're all smiling, but we are today.
Got some nice rain.
Mother Nature gave us a huge gift to start things off.
Cooler temperatures. It's all good.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of myself because I mowed the yard on Saturday.
Aww.
See, it was perfect timing, and it all worked out. Yeah, I'm happy.
That doesn't happen too often.
It doesn't. I usually time it out way wrong, even as a meteorologist. Anyway. I want to show you the setup around 9 o'clock this morning. There were the storms coming through, and then as they pushed east, they really did fall apart, which I know is unfortunate for those, say, out in Hallettsville and Cuero, Victoria. They didn't get the rain they'd hoped for, but there is still some chances as we get later into today, and you can see kind of a little bit of a spin right there, and then the tail, and that's the outflow, so it's pushing south, and in the wake of that, we have some stable air that basically is over top of us, at least for now. But what I want to watch is what happens up here around Midland, maybe north of Del Rio. You see some cumulus clouds starting to take shape there. If we can get more development up here today, some of those storms could make their way down and into our area again tonight. I think most of today is going to be pretty quiet just because, again, the air is stabilized somewhat behind that complex of showers and storms this morning. 84 right now, 84 in New Braunfels, 81 in Seguin, 79 Bernie, 81 in Kerrville. And looking at the 24-hour temperature change, well, this isn't so bad. We had the clouds and rain keep temperatures down this morning, so we're running about 5 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago here in San Antonio, 10 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago in Pleasanton. Nice aside from those showers and storms this morning. Again, we'll put in a 20% chance this afternoon, but I wouldn't bank on too much developing. 93 is our forecast high. Now, as we get into tonight, we are going to bump the rain chances up to 30% around midnight to account for any storms that do make their way out of West Texas. We'll talk more about that potential. We'll also look ahead to Father's Day weekend coming up in just a bit.
He said it again.
Yeah, he did.
All right. A new combined COVID-19 and flu shot could be coming soon. Moderna says it has a combination vaccine that shows positive late-stage trial results. It hasn't been approved yet. The company says people who got the vaccine, which is called mRNA 1083, had an improved immune response compared to those who got the standalone flu and COVID shots that are currently available. In terms of safety, Moderna claims the combined vaccine was well tolerated, but that has not been backed up yet by other studies. Other companies have also been testing a combined COVID flu vaccine. Moderna is the first one, though, to announce positive late-stage trial results.
The Supreme Court has agreed to hear an appeal from Facebook related to a massive data breach at the social media company, while it centers on how much information was disclosed to investors about damage caused by that breach. Facebook says that it was open about the potential harm caused by the breach. In 2019, Facebook agreed to pay just over $5 billion to settle charges with federal regulators over the scandal. But investors have argued that they didn't disclose enough about the damage that it caused. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has agreed, allowing the lawsuit against Facebook to proceed. The High Court's decision in the case is expected next year.
Cyber attacks have been coming fast and furious across the country, and one of those industries most dangerously affected are our rural hospitals. Now Microsoft and Google are offering free and discounted cybersecurity services to these small hospitals across the U.S. The cyber attacks disrupting patient care, but also threatening lives. Microsoft says it will provide free security updates for eligible rural hospitals, as well as security assessments and training for hospital staff. Google, meantime, offering free cybersecurity advice to rural hospitals. It'll also start a pilot program to match the firm's cybersecurity services with the needs of rural hospitals.
The U.S. military resuming airdrops with aid into Gaza yesterday. It came after the military said that they were suspended due to Israeli operations in the northern area. U.S. command said that a U.S. cargo plane dropped more than 10 metric tons of meals yesterday. The deliveries resumed after a U.S.-built pier was repaired from damage in heavy seas. The damage paused operations for nearly 2 weeks. Former President Donald Trump is formally requesting oral arguments in his bid to disqualify the top prosecutor in his Georgia election interference case. That's according to a new filing. And this comes as the Georgia Court of Appeals considers Trump's request to have Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis taken off the case for alleged misconduct. The Superior Court judge presiding over the case previously ruled that Willis should stay. If this new request is granted, though, those arguments could take place in October. And if you don't mind the heat, there's plenty of fun to be had around the city, especially at local parks. Patty Santos has a look at how you can enjoy the great outdoors without ever leaving the city.
A local veteran reflecting on his time in the service during World War II as he returns from his first trip back to France since the war. He shares his story after the break. Member of the Greatest Generation, war hero, and lifelong Kelly worker, 97-year-old Martin Rodriguez just got back from visiting the battleground where he once served. It was the first visit to Europe since World War II, and as you can imagine, it was an emotional one for this veteran. Danielle Ibarra with Rodriguez's reflections on the trip and on being a member of this very elite U.S. veteran group.
These are medallions that I have been given.
They're tokens of gratitude Martin Rodriguez cherishes.
I don't know how many other guys received this.
It's a reminder of what he's done and where he served.
I was called and I answered.
Rodriguez is 97 now. When he joined the Army in 1945, he was just an 18-year-old from San Antonio. Among his posts during World War II, Austria, Germany, and France.
I was there after the invasion.
He's a humble hero.
They command me, and I did what I was ordered to do.
After nearly 80 years, Rodriguez and other World War II veterans got to go back.
I never thought I'd get back there.
And not just a light visit, they got to meet with dignitaries in Paris.
I happened to be in the front row, and I happened to be greeted by some general and some commissioner and some lady, a lady of the president or something.
They also visited the beaches of Normandy, feeling both the beauty and the heaviness.
I survived. I survived, and thank God.
But others didn't. That's why Rodriguez wanted to go back and honor them.
It is so bad that we lost so many people.
Even with 80 years gone by, the loss is still fresh. Despite the victory, Rodriguez hopes the war serves as a lesson that future generations don't forget.
I would hope that people would learn that killing other people is not going to solve anything.
Danielle Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Ursula, we will always be grateful and thankful for Mr. Rodriguez, his service, and the sacrifice that many of his mates did there.
Imagine 18 years old and he still cries when he thinks about it.
And I think we're so lucky to be able to hear from these men and women all these years later on the anniversary. So just incredible. Yes, we certainly appreciate your service. 84 so far today, 72. The low this morning. The average is 92, and guess what? We may be right around that average. We've been so far above average for so long now. It's nice to see temperatures come back down a little bit. And we could see some more rain, too. We'll take another look at that forecast for you coming up. Welcome back. I want to show you a few more pictures coming in on our KSAT Connect. This is out in Von Army. It looks like we have a little bit more wind damage there. This fence blown down. We showed you some of the tree damage earlier. So certainly some gusty winds with these storms as they came through. That's an in by John. And then I want to show you, let's go south to McCollum High School. This is also by John Villegas. And you can see 1.75 inches of rain down there. So there were good numbers across the city. The highest totals, as we've been talking about, out west. But no matter where you were, you at least got some rain. This should help green things up, at least temporarily, because it has been so very, very dry. Authority radar right now giving us the all clear. All those showers and storms have moved away. Clouds are starting to clear out. The sun is out. There are some storms as you get down towards the coast. So near Port O'Connor, Galveston, seeing a few showers and storms. And then as you get up towards San Angelo, starting to see some showers and storms take shape there. We'll see how those evolve because, yes, there is a chance that anything that develops out to our north and west could push in our direction tonight. And in fact, there is a severe weather risk for places like Midland, Lubbock, San Angelo, over towards Abilene and Ozona. And if storms can get organized in this general area, then yes, I think that they'll work south and east. And just like last night, while they may be dying down at this point, we could see some of those leftover showers and storms here. And the reason for that, high pressure in the upper levels sitting over Mexico now. This is that heat high that a lot of time likes to sit over top of us. Now it's moved away just enough to allow for that north and northwesterly flow, which steers those storms in our direction. And like this morning, brought us some good rain, and we will absolutely take it. It was a very, very welcome sign. Futurecast does show that by this afternoon, maybe a couple of isolated showers or storms may pop up, although I'm not too convinced of that because the atmosphere is pretty worked over. A lot of times when you get storms coming through, it kind of zaps the energy out of the atmosphere, at least for a little while. But what this model is indicating is that storms may organize up there around San Angelo and try to get a little bit closer to us by tomorrow morning. Now, this shows it dying down. There's always the possibility that this holds together and is a little bit larger than what you see here. These models don't tend to handle these situations very well. Also, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, this is 5 o'clock, this model wants to develop more storms and another complex of showers and storms, perhaps for our western counties this go around. That would be tomorrow night into Wednesday. So yes, there are more opportunities here, and hopefully we can spread the wealth when it comes to the rain. Temperatures are down a little bit thanks to this rain and cloud cover. 83 here in San Antonio. It's 90 in Houston, 95 in Phoenix, and 93 in Las Vegas. So we're doing a lot better than several other spots in the country, and that has not been the case as of late. So 20% chance of rain this afternoon. I think we only make it up to about 93 or so. And then we'll bring the rain chances up to 30% by midnight to account for some of those storms that could come in from the north and west. And we'll just blanket a 30% chance Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to account for any afternoon storms and some of those overnight storms as well. Then by Thursday, 96, high pressure builds in this weekend. Father's Day weekend. Did I mention that? 99 Saturday, 98 on Sunday.
3 mentions and counting. The show's not over
as
yet.
As many opportunities as he can. I think he's sending some hints out there.
Yep.
Lori? Okay.
Hi, Lori.
Well, you guys, the kids obviously out for summer, and that means that they're actually in threat of that dreadful, what's called the summer slide.
That's the tendency that students have to lose or forget some of the things that they've just learned when they go on summer break. So how can you help them to keep on the learning track in a fun way?
Yeah, it's a question that many parents have, while the Phil Hardberger Park Conservation has some ideas with events that they have going on.
We have a lot of fun things coming up here at Hardberger Park.
Summer's out, but that doesn't mean the learning stops.
Taking kids out in nature, getting them off of the computer or the cell phone or the tablet is a win-win in every way you look at it.
David Jimenez, Education Coordinator for San Antonio Parks and Recreation Natural Areas Division, is gearing up for a busy summer of activities, starting off with a Pride Hike June 15th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Nature itself is very diverse, and a healthy ecosystem has all kinds of plants and animals, and we like to celebrate the diversity both in nature and in our community here.
There's also a cool shirt you can sport. Sales for the wear will benefit the park. Every first Thursday of the month, there's story time at 10 a.m. But in July, it will be the second Thursday due to the holiday.
Just wear comfortable clothes and dress for the weather. We do story time in our outside nature play area, so it's a shaded playground area. And as long as you're comfortable, everything else is provided.
How about something for the bigger kids? Get them up early for a nature walk on June 22nd at 8 a.m.
This month, we're going to talk about native plants that you can have at home and how they support different native wildlife.
And my kids' favorite, growing up wild and starting out wild. There are 7 of these sessions.
And those classes look like a short nature lesson, a story, a snack, a craft, and a little nature walk. And they're a lot of fun, and those usually have a good turnout.
To wrap up June, how about some art in the park?
And this month's theme for art in the park is nature mobiles. So we're going to be making some hanging, free spinning artworks.
Was our Patty Santos reporting. All right, we'll be right back.
This Pride Month, the Classic Theater revives The Boys in the Band, a 1960s play about identity and relationships in the gay community.
The Boys in the Band takes you back in time, showcasing 9 diverse gay characters living in 1960s New York who gather for a party before things go awry.
What I really like about the characters is the fact that the playwright, Mart Crowley, gave us 9 very believable characters. All of them gay, one of them perhaps questioning, but by the same token, all different people.
Jimmy Moore plays Michael, the host of the party for his friend Harold. The character taps into darker thoughts as the night progresses and is the catalyst for the drama that ensues.
Starts as kind of the best version of himself, and as the evening starts to snowball and kind of go horribly wrong, he really descends into his own demons and into his own drunkenness and starts to be kind of cruel to people.
Joshua Cook plays Bernard, whose character gives us an insight into what it was like being a black gay man in the 1960s.
And Bernard is one of those many characters who is able to delve into his past, and you get to learn a little bit more about his character and how it kind of shapes the world that he's living in that time.
Director Tim Hedgepeth emphasizes the significance of doing a play like this during Pride Month for characters who never got the chance.
Our 9 characters, they never benefited from Pride, nor did the millions of gay men, lesbians, and trans people at that time. They didn't have a parade, they didn't get to wave a flag, they didn't get to be married.
Moore hopes audience members can identify with the characters in The Boys in the Band and the show's theme of self-acceptance.
Really a relatable piece, I think, for anybody who has struggled with their sense of self, that can come and see a piece of themselves represented on stage.
For more information on tickets and show times, visit KSAT.com. Ivan Herrera, KSAT 12 News.
All right, I have a new one for you, a new kind of...
I don't know what's...
a new kind of iced tea that is known down at the ranch. It's called the Sweet and Mean, which is a half and half.
Oh, so that's what I'll get, the sweet and mean.
You get sweet and mean.
I'm just going to ask for a sweet and mean.
We can thank David Hurtado for that Texas verbiage.
Of course David would know what a sweet and mean
Yeah. Well, we're going to let you know all about some great iced tea deals today
on
the
iced
show.
tea day. But we're also going to let you know about a pretty much brand new Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Take a look at some of these dishes here over in the medical center, and some of them have a little bit of a Texas twist to them. We will tell you all about that. Perfect
for Father's Day.
You know what else is perfect for Father's Day? Handmade leather item. And Guy Rubio from Bear Goods is here. And why is this such a perfect gift?
Well, it's handmade here in San Antonio. Gear for the modern frontier. It's going to be leather goods to last a lifetime.
I mean, this is stuff you passed down, right?
Passed down.
Yeah.
You'll give it as a gift and probably get it back one day. All right.
All right. Tiffany Phillips from Simply Tiffs is here. And with this summer sun, it's important to protect your skin, right?
Absolutely. And especially those little ones. These mineral-based sunscreens that are physical barriers are great for them. And we have an awesome applicator that even the youngest child can use.
We're going to tell you all about that. All right, ice cream, who doesn't love it? How about, 150 or so different combinations, something like that?
Yeah, with toppings and everything. I mean, Jen checks out Arctic Monkey.
All right, and Juneteenth, of course, is a week from Wednesday, but we're going to tell you about even a free event tonight and all the events leading up to that.
All that and more when SA Live continues from Historic Market Square.